Hello friends, welcome to South Indian Epics. Today what we are going to see is Tamil Nadu set 2017 questions with the detailed explanatory answers. Paper 2, Chemical Science. First question, atomic number of chromium and copper is 24 and 29 and its electronic configuration is. Here the electronic configuration of chromium and copper is given, in which one electron from 4s orbital is shifted to 3d orbital to give chromium a 3d5, which is a half filled, and copper is a 3d10, which is a full filled. So half filled and full filled subshell is more stable, so the electron from 4s orbital move to 3d subshell to make stability. So the correct option is 1. Second question, the difference in electronegativity scale between the two atoms A and B is 1.9. The nature of the bond is. So here we have to calculate the percentage ionic character. Percentage ionic character is given as 100 into 1 minus exponential minus 0.25 into XA minus XB. That is the difference in electronegativity, and to the square. So here you have given XA minus XB, the difference in electronegativity is 1.9. So the percentage of ionic character is 59.4%, which is nearly equal to 50%. So answer is 2. Sodium hydroxide and HOCl both contains OH groups, but the former is a base while latter is the acid. So what is the reason? Here listen. Option here, sodium NaO bond is more polar than OH bond in NaOH. Here the solution, listen here. In sodium and oxygen, sodium is more electropositive and oxygen 2 minus is more electronegative. So there is the polarity between Na plus and O2 minus is more than H plus and O2 minus. So option 1 is correct. NaO bond is more polar than OH bond in NaOH. Option 2 is just opposite to option 1. So option 2 was ruled out. And you see another compound was given, that is HOCl. HOCl is an acid. Okay. In HOCl, the OH bond is more polar. That is oxygen is electronegative than H plus. So it's more polar than OCl bond. OCl bond in HOCl is less polar because oxygen is also electronegative and chlorine is also electronegative. Okay, so both are electronegative, so the bond is less polar. So option 1 is correct. Option 3 and 4 are just opposite to the concept. So just remember that one. Next question. The oil of vitriol is. Listen, there are 4 options given. Ferrous sulfate is called as a green vitriol, and copper sulfate is called as blue vitriol, and H2SO4 is called as a oil of vitriol, and zinc sulfate is called as white vitriol. Okay, so option 3 is correct. Next question, 5th one. Gas which bleaches the color of flowers and vegetables by reduction is. First one, sulfur dioxide, chlorine, H2S and Br2. Listen here. If you take chlorine, chlorine reacts with water to give HCl and HClO. HClO gives HCl plus oxygen. It's a nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen here it's a good oxidizing agent. So you know chlorine with water is a good oxidizing agent. Similarly, bromine reacts in water to give one nascent hydrogen oxygen. So bromine is also an oxidizing agent. If you take H2S, H2S plus H2O gives sulfuric acid plus H2 hydrogen gas. So it is not also an reducing agent. So the option is correct answer is SO2. In SO2, sulfur dioxide acts as a bleaching agent in presence of water. It oxidizes with the liberation of nascent hydrogen was produced. Here you see nascent hydrogen was produced, which acts as a reducing agent, which makes the coloring material into a colorless compound. So option A1 is correct. A greenish yellow gas reacts with an alkali metal oxide to form a halide, which can be used in fireworks and safety matches. The gas and halide respectively are. So which is the gas? Here a greenish yellow gas, it was given as a greenish yellow gas. From this you can identify. Here iodine is a brown gas, bromine is a lightly brownish gas. So this option 2 and 3 are ruled out. And in option 1 and 4, chlorine is a greenish yellow gas, but when chlorine reacts with alkali metal hydroxide like potassium hydroxide, a halide formed is a KClO3, which can be used in fireworks and safety matches. So option 4 was ruled out, and correct option is answer 1, Cl2 KClO3. Next question. The element which has only +3 oxidation state. There was given 4 lanthanides, in which you see gadolinium, its atomic number is 64, is 4f7 and 5d1. Here 5d1 electron and 6s2 electron both were lost due to, and 3 electrons were lost to give GD3. So option 1 is correct. In case of europium, its atomic number is 63 and is off-filled. It gives 2 electron. It gives 2 electron to give off-filled 4f7 and becomes EU2+. Oxidation is 2+. In terbium, atomic number is 65. It loses 4 electrons to give an off-filled orbital and becomes Tb4+. In thulium, atomic number is 69 and it loses 2 electrons to become Tm2+. Okay, so the correct option is 1. Next, hybridization is in copper. Hybridization is copper, this complex you see. What's the hybridization is? Here Cu2+. In Cu2+, it is 3d9 4s0 configuration, and here the ligand is NH3. In NH3 is a strong ligand, so you take copper atom. It's Cu2+, it's 3d9 and 4s0 and 4p0. In presence of a strong ligand like NH3, the atom in 3d, 1 electron was shifted to 4p orbital, so you will get dsp2 hybridization. dsp2 hybridization is a square planar complex. So option 4 is correct. Next one, 9th question. The hexadentate ligand is, you see, in acetyl acetonate is a bidentate ligand. 8-hydroxyquinoline is also a bidentate ligand. Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid is a hexadentate ligand. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 nitrogen, 5 and another nitrogen 6. So it's a hexadentate ligand. Ethylene diamine is a bidentate ligand. We know that. So the correct option is 3. Next question. The separation of lanthanides in ion exchange method is based on size of hydrated ions, size of unhydrated ions, basicity of hydroxide, solubility of their nitrates. Here you see, in lanthanides, the lanthanide ions are Ln3+. Mostly due to lanthanide contraction, most of the oxidation state is 3+. So in aqueous solution have similar chemistries. just differing by their radii, which lengthened contraction across the series. Hence, size-based ionic exchange is the preferred method in the separation of lanthanides. So, option 1 is correct. Next question. Which of the following is not considered as an organometallic compound? We all know that ferrocene is an organometallic compound. Zeiss salt, and this is Zeiss salt, this is also an organometallic compound. Grignard reagent is or MgX is also an organometallic compound. So the correct option is cisplatin. You take cisplatin is a cis diamine dichloroplatinum 2 is CDDP, is a part of organic group compound, but it was not a organometallic compound. So correct option is cisplatin. So next question. The equilibrium constant for the formation of nickel En3 is 10 times 10 power 10 fold greater than the equilibrium constant of this reaction is greater than the formation of NiNH3 6, this complex. So what is the reason here? It was not due to the Jahn Teller effect, it was not due to the crystal field defect, and it was not due to the aminolysis effect. It is due to the chelate effect. You all know the chelate effect. This ethylene diamine is a chelating ligand, and here in the chelating ligand forms a thermodynamically more stable complexes, while ammonia is a weak ligand. So there is a difference between En and ammonia. In general cases, a cyclic or chelate complex is more stable than other complex. So chelate effect plays a role in here. So the reason the 10 times equilibrium constant rises in NiEn than NiNH3 is due to chelate effect. Next question, 13. Gel permeation chromatography can be used to separate lanthanides, alkali earths, alkali metals, low molecular peptide. Here, gel permeation chromatography is a type of size exclusion chromatography. Here, the separation was based mainly on size exclusion. So that separates analytes on the basis of size mainly. So low molecular weight peptides can be separated using GPC. So the correct option is fourth one. Next question. The size of the hole in the center of porphyrin ring. The system is ideal for here first transition series, second transition series, and third transition series alkali earth metals. You see here the size of the hole in the center of the porphyrin ring is ideal for accommodating the metals of first transition series. Porphyrin ring system is fairly rigid and the metal nitrogen bond does not vary greatly from 193 to 196 picometer. So it's the whole of the ring, the whole size was matched to the first transition series, not second or third transition series. The first option is correct. Next question. If by mistake some radioactive substance gets into human body, then from the point of view of radiation damage, the most harmful will be one that emits. It's a gamma rays. Gamma rays is very harmful because it is most harmful than other radiation. Okay, so first option is correct. And next question. For an eigenfunction alpha power ikx, ik is a constant. For a linear momentum operator px, There are three linear moment operator Px, Py, Pz. So what is the eigenvalue? Now we have to calculate the eigenvalue. So E psi equal to Px into psi. Here given psi equal to alpha power I kx. So you substitute here, Px psi is given as minus I h bar dou psi by dou x. Now you substitute the value of psi value. Now we will get kh alpha I power kx. Alpha I power kx is nothing but psi. So here E psi equal to kh psi. Now E equal to eigenvalue is kh. So option 4 is correct. Here, which is a Laplacian operator, is answer 1. Answer 1 is a Laplacian operator. Next question, 18. Equivalent symmetry operation for combined symmetry operation sigma xz into sigma yz, and you multiply sigma xy and sigma yz, you will get a C2 axis. It's a C2z. So answer 1 is correct. 19th question. Eclipsed form of ruthenazine is the point group. What is the eclipsed form of ruthenazine? It is the central metal ion is ruthenium. It is similar to ferrocene. In ferrocene, eclipsed form of ferrocene also, the point group is D phi H. Here it's here in the top you are having a 5-membered ring, and the bottom you are having a 5-membered ring. So it is a D phi H symmetry. Which of the following does not contain C3 axis? Here you see POCl3, NH4 plus, H3O plus and ClF3. You see option ClF3. ClF3 is a T-shaped compound. It's a T-shaped compound. Here in C3, for C3 axis, 360 divided by 3 is the bond angle should be 120. So you take option 4, ClF3 has T-shaped structure with the bond angle 175 degree. So ClF3 does not contain C3 axis. All other contain C3 axis. The temperature dependent of equilibrium constant K of a chemical reaction is correctly described by the following statement. Here you see answer option 1 is correct. For an endothermic reaction, the slope of ln K versus 1 by T plot is positive. Here if you plot, you take one graph. If you plot ln K, ln K in y-axis and 1 by T, that is 1 by temperature in x-axis, you will get a positive slope for an endothermic reaction. For an endothermic reaction, K is not directly proportional to temperature, and you see option 2 and 3 are ruled out. If you take option 4, here in option 4, if delta H is independent of temperature, the change in K with T is smaller at a lower temperature. Here delta H value is negative. Here you see that delta H reaction would be negative for the forward reaction. So option 1 is correct. You take 22. Consider a simple hypothetical reaction. A gives L. A is a reactant and L is a product. Concentration of the product L goes on increasing. Hence the rate of the reaction can also be expressed in term of increasing in concentration of the product, L. Here your rate R equal to dL by dt. The L is positive, so the rate of the reaction goes on increases. So option 4 was ruled out. Option 4 here you see it was given as negative, minus dL by dt. So option 4 was ruled out, and option 3 was ruled out, and option 1 was also ruled out because of negative charge. So option 2 is correct, dL by dt. Thus rate of the reaction increases, the rate is positive. Okay, next question. Standard solution of potassium nitrate is used to make salt bridge because velocity of K plus is greater than NO3. Velocity of NO3 is greater than K plus. Velocity of both K plus and NO3 are nearly same. KNO3 is highly soluble in water. Here you see for making a salt bridge, for a good salt bridge, the velocity of the ion should be same. If the velocity of ion was not same, means then the ion should not be able to neutralize the charge equally in both the off cells, that is anode and cathode. Consequently, an opposite force would be developed that restrict the flow of current. So for KNO3, the velocity of K plus and NO3 minus are nearly same. So option 3 is correct. Next question. In an electrolytic cell, the flow of electron is from cathode to anode solution. Cathode to anode through external supply, cathode to anode through internal supply, anode to cathode through internal supply. You take the cathode reaction where reduction occurs. In an electrolytic cell, in cathode reduction occurs, that is metal ion reduced to metal. At anode, oxidation occurs, electron was released. Okay, so therefore the electron is moving from cathode to anode via internal circuit. So option 3 was correct. And 25. Reduction potential of copper Cu2 plus and Cu and Ag plus and Ag, copper electrode and silver electrode, the reduction potentials was reduction and oxidation potentials was given, that is one is 0.34 volt and 0.8 volt. Okay, for what concentration of silver ion? You have to calculate the concentration of silver ion. The EMF of the cell at 25 degree is 0. Given that concentration of copper was given, that is 0.01 molar. Here we will calculate. Listen carefully. Given what they are given is copper electrode EMF was given 0.34 volt and silver electrode reduction potential was given is a 0.8 volt. The cell was given as this a cell reaction, copper in Cu2 plus, salt bridge, silver ion in contact with silver. Now you calculate the standard EMF, that is a minus 0.34 volt and plus 0.8 volt. It is a positive value. It is a plus 0.46 volt E cell. Now you apply Nernst equation. In Nernst equation you apply this. In Nernst equation E cell was 0. This one is 0. So this one comes this side. So you will get this equation here. 0.0591 divided by 2 log Cu2 plus Ag plus square, and E cell you already calculated that is a 0.046 volt. So you calculate this one, log Cu2 plus and Ag plus square will be you will get 15.567, and the concentration of the copper ion was given, it's 0.01 molar. So Ag plus square, you will get this value. So finally you take a square root, you will get Ag plus ion. The concentration of Ag plus ion is 1.65 into 10 power minus 5 minus 9 molar. Okay, this is part 1, and we will see the set TN set questions and with the explanatory answer in the part 2. We will meet on part 2. I hope this video will be helpful to you for your preparation of competitive exam in chemical science. Thank you.